What's up, gang? Sea Life here. So I did something the other day that was really, really weird, and it came out really cool, but it's kind of complicated. What do we got here? Normal piano. Normal piano? Or is it? The words are all backwards? Introducing the backwards piano, or left-handed piano. Obviously, I'm probably not the first one to do it, and I didn't actually build it, but I essentially sequenced the notes in reverse. So here's kind of a breakdown how it works. Okay, so here's just a random sequence of notes, right? So what you have to do is you have to find the counterpart for each note when you flip them. Everything except for the D. The D stays the same. Now the reason I kept the D where it's supposed to be is because one of the notes has to stay the same, and it just kind of worked the best with symmetry. Now you have to do the same thing with octaves, which can be really tricky, but we will get to that. So now here is a full diagram of the piano scale. And you have your octaves 1 through 7. Basically every note is flipped to its counter note or its opposite note, as well as the octaves. I'm just realizing if you spell out the letters at the bottom, it says bag fed. And notice all of the D's are in the same spot, all across the board. Every D is going to remain a D. So what does this mean? It's a really bizarre piano. In order to get to this point, I had to essentially record every single note of a piano of mine and rename them the wrong file names. So every single C note in all 7 octaves, I would call it E. So the sequencer program I'm putting it into would recognize it as E. So here's a note, and another note, and another, and another, and another, and another. Finally, I got through the entire piano. And so from there, once I had each of these notes ready to go and named, I went into my absolute favorite Pro Tools instrument, Falcon. It's a sampler. It is so powerful and so much fun. Anyway, so I took each of these notes, dropped it in. Falcon knows exactly where to put them. Some of them can get a little messy, so I'm just going to go into this backwards piano preset that I already had made. Whoa, there you go. So the more that I messed around with this, the more I thought, I am bad at piano, but what if I could get someone really good at piano to play piano for me? And I thought maybe there's some MIDI arrangements out there that we could try on the backwards piano. So check this out. This next song's by a little composer named Beethoven. You may have heard of him. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the MIDI, duplicate it, and put it on this backwards piano track. Now listen to this. What? It's like the song's inverted. What? And technically it is. The whole thing has been flipped and remapped. Let's try it with another song. This is a track by Mr. Mozart you might recognize. Classic. But what if we played it in reverse? Kind of a different emotion. Still playful. I think a lot of these songs end up going from a certain mode into a different mode. I think they go from a specific scale into another weird Middle Eastern scale. I don't know. I haven't experimented enough. Let's try something a little more modern. My guy Scotty Joplin with the Maple Leaf Rag. So good, so good. All right, let's hear it on a backward piano. What? What? This is so weird. It doesn't make any sense. Yet it does. So I haven't really experimented with the backwards piano beyond these 3 songs, but it kind of makes you wonder like what it would be like to learn piano backwards if that's all you had. I assume it would be just as easy or just as difficult to learn piano because it wouldn't matter. And I suppose you could go back and relearn piano on a left-handed piano. There's this really cool band called Mr. Twin Sister that I've been following for years, and I went to one of their shows once, and their guitar player Eric Cardona was playing some really bizarre chords. I talked to him after the show and I was like, what tuning do you play in? And he said, oh, I play in standard tuning. I just play a right-handed guitar. I said, no, you don't. You play a left-handed guitar. And he says, no, I play a right-handed guitar with my left hand. The highest string is a low E and the lowest string is a high E. And it blew my mind. That means he can pick up any old guitar, any old right-handed guitar, and play it. You can go to a guitar shop in any city, grab a right-handed guitar, and start ripping it left-handed. Isn't that insane? That's so crazy. Makes so much sense. He did what he could with what he had when he was growing up and when he was playing guitar. He didn't have to fuss. He wasn't replacing strings and turning it around. That's so cool. That is so freaking cool to me. So that's kind of what is happening with this piano. I mean, essentially, it doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. There is only the right-handed piano, and that's fine. But maybe someday, someone will build a full-scale, mirrored, left-handed piano that nobody can play. And that, my friends, is what art is all about. Not making sense. Suffice to say, this whole experiment was kind of a waste of time, and I don't really have much to show for it, but I'm glad it came out the way it did. I'd love to try out some modern songs, but I don't think I can put them on here due to copyright. However, I'm giving these samples away to you. Just click on the link in the description, and if you have a sampler of any kind that takes WAV files, you'll be good. Till next time. Oh, sorry, left hand.